Hi, it's Amy.
And it's Tim from Go With Less. Today we're doing the third and final video in our series of house sitting best practices. This is going to be at the end of the sit and after the sit. What are the things that you should be doing?
Hopefully you've already seen our videos that was before the sit and during the sit. We had lots and lots of our friends weigh in with some of their best practices. We got the best of the best, and hopefully you learned a lot of good tips from there. Today we're continuing with that, and we enlisted the pros, so we're going to bring you some tips from them as well, including our own.
Over the course of the last week, we've been super busy, or really Amy's been super busy, trying to find the perfect sit. She has looked all over the world in an attempt to find an ideal place for us to be this summer.
It is just unbelievable that we could travel around the world house sitting. We love it already, but it's so cool that we could go live in someone else's home and take care of their life, kind of like slip right in like we live there. It is such an incredible experience. Hopefully we are introducing this to a new audience as well, because it's really changed our lives.
It really has. So this is the thought of we can go to so many places. Malaysia, Europe, Singapore, you name it, there are incredible places to go and see throughout the world where there are house sits.
Including our own state of Colorado.
Yep.
I think one of the reasons we're so excited to book our summer is because we are in the thick of winter here in Colorado. Neither of us likes winter very much.
No doubt about it. As a matter of fact, I get to deal with the brunt of the winter yuckiness, so the snow I get to shovel, the driving I get to do in the snow, so I am way done with winter.
And when Tim says he does the shoveling, we have a townhome, so he shovels like 5 feet. So
still too much.
We're not talking like he's shoveling a half-mile driveway or anything like that. He's outside for 10 minutes. But hey, at least it's you and it's not me.
No doubt about it. I do not like the cold either.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to a nice warm summer and can't wait for a fun house sit. So please stay tuned, because we're going to be bringing you something fun this summer without doubt. We put out a new video every Wednesday. Hopefully you'll subscribe by that little box in the corner of our window to subscribe. Our videos range from anything with house sitting. We've done a lot of house sitting lately. House sitting, travel hacking and travel rewards, how to travel on less. Sometimes we talk about our lifestyle as well. Coming up soon, we're going to be talking about what we do for health insurance. I know our audience has asked for that quite a bit. Yeah, so Tim's been putting that topic off for 6 months. I think it's time for him to take on that topic.
It's a little involved.
Yeah, so hopefully you'll stay tuned. And with that, let's get started.
Our last 2 videos were a little on the longer side. We're going to try and keep today's a little shorter.
And when I put up our videos in house sitting forums and Facebook pages, we got a lot of really good long responses from the pros, and as good as that is and as fantastic as it is, a lot of them had a lot of the same kind of themes. So we're going to summarize some of these and not read, even though they were so good, and it's really not doing it justice to not read their great words because they were so helpful. But I have for this video 1.5 pages of things that are fabulous to talk about from our friends. So we're just going to have to boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's get started.
Yeah, I'm going to throw something in here also regarding the end of the sit. It seems to me that the end of the sit seems to be the busiest time. So the most work that sort of goes into a house sit is when you're preparing for the homeowner to come home and you're turning the house back to them. So even though we're going to try and keep this short, there's plenty of stuff that happens at the end of a sit.
And by the way, even though Tim mentioned that our last 2 videos were kind of long, there's a lot of good stuff in there. So hopefully you'll go back and watch those if you haven't already seen those. And our friend Vanessa mentioned in the last video during the house sit, keep the house tidy and do the chores continuing so that the end of the sit doesn't come and you're like, holy cow, like we have a lot to do. But we know we really try not to make any plans the day before the owners come home. Sometimes we make an exception if there's an event that we cannot do otherwise. However, that's something we really try to do, is have a whole day of just cleaning the house. And we live really tidy, but we're making it like perfect. So our idea is to leave the house cleaner than we found it.
Ideally, that is what we're doing. We've been in places that are immaculate, so sometimes that's hard, but we want to try and at least get it back to where it was when it was handed off to us.
And our friend Josie Schnieder from House Sitting Travel echoes something similar to that. Our friend Naomi Pearse over at the Book of the House also operate by the campsite rule, leave it cleaner than you found it. So this is echoed over and over and over. And when we say cleaner than you found it, we're going to include some basic stuff. That includes washing all the linens, washing all the towels, It's not just bath towels, it's also towels in the kitchen. Maybe you had some dish towels that you dirtied up and used. Wash those too. Make sure that every single thing that could possibly be dirty and laundered is clean and back on the bed when that homeowner comes in the house.
If it happens to be summer and you're taking care of a yard, you'd want to make sure that the yard is mowed the day before they come home so it looks fresh and pristine. If you had use of their car, you also might want to go and wash the car. Make sure that the car is cleaner.
Not might, want to wash the car.
You want to wash the car. You want to make sure that it's cleaner than when they left it with you.
It's really nice that they loaned you their car, so make sure that when they get it back, it's like, oh, this was a really nice treat for me as well when they get in the car. Filled with gas, obviously, washed, in good shape. And here's a quick tip from our friend Sue Pearse from Wherever Are We. We always try to have the dogs washed or brushed. Absolutely.
Great advice.
It's really helpful to have two people when you do that.
No doubt about it. We haven't had to wash a cat yet. I don't think you really give them a bath. But...
Yeah, we have not had to wash a cat yet. And every time we wash a dog, it's always like a little bit of mayhem. We're in our bathing suits half the time when we do that.
Yep. Great advice. So when a homeowner returns from wherever they've been and we're there in their home, we want to get out ideally before they actually return. We want to get their home completely cleaned, and then we want to get out of their space so that when they get home, it's just there and it's just like they left it with us in pristine condition.
Yeah, it's a really nice way to come home. Now, I know that many of our house-sitting friends stick around for a day or a couple days or maybe even a week or so to maybe enjoy the area as a tourist. Our friend Vanessa from House Sitting Magazine records everything that's happened in the house that's anything of note, whether it's with the pets or with the house, and she does a quick, easy turnover at the end of the sit. Also from our friend Naomi Peters from the Book of the House. She keeps a list in Evernote of any details I need to review with the owner when they're back. On a recent sit, I replaced a light bulb, but the new one had a slightly different quality of light, so I pointed that out to the owner. It was just a very small detail, but some really care about warm versus cool light, and I respect that. So we understand having a little person, like face-to-face turnover on both sides. We get it. It's something that we just kind of like to be out of their hair because we know when we get home from a long trip, we don't want to have visitors and guests in our house.
No, that's exactly right. I would even go as far as to say we would be willing. The last sit we were on that was longer, we had to get out because of flights, etc. However, it would have been nice to stick around for an extra day just in case they had questions about anything that was going on in the sit. Even with that, we would have been willing to pay for a night at a hotel just to be out of their hair so that they have their space back. But we're still there just in case they have questions or there's anything that's going on that we might be able to answer their real time.
To meet them again.
Yeah, to meet them again.
Yeah,
exactly.
just to like have like that warm touch. And just like we arrive to a house sit a day or two early to get the lay of the land, maybe even more for a more complex house, we understand that it's nice to have a warm handover because their flight may be delayed or something like that. So
you wouldn't want to leave the pets in a situation where the dog isn't fed for 2 days because they're coming back from the States to Europe and they missed their plane. So it is nice to have a lot of coordination at the end of the sit to make sure that the pets are taken care of until they're home.
Yeah, so we can kind of see it both ways. There's definitely pros to each. So however it's worked out, it's actually been kind of good for us both ways.
It has been, yep.
A quick note from Josie Schnieder over at housesittingtravel.com. If you break something, replace it. I think that would be common sense for us, maybe not for everybody, and I think that it's an excellent tip. Thank you very much, Josie. We're going to get into a really fun part of the best practices of house sitting, and that is like a little leave behind gift for the homeowner. Sometimes it's not been so little on our behalf, and we're going to chat about a couple different options, and some of our house sitting friends have really gone to
amped it up.
Yeah, they've really amped it up, and it's just great to see. And we have a fun time trying to find like the right thing for the homeowners.
Yeah, we do. Something that we always try and do is put together a video for the homeowner that shows our time with the pets, that shows what we did with the pets while they were gone, and shows how we connected with the pets.
And often we're sending photos throughout the sit. So this is other photos and video that we've captured. I'm not generally sending video when we're traveling, but I do this at the absolute end. So we have everything together and it's a welcome home video. And a lot of our owners have said that they cry during it. So I think that it's actually quite effective. Our friend Glenn Lamb over at Lambies Travels writes that they'll often do a photo collage of the pets and include it with our follow-up email asking for a reference. Our friend Liz Parker shares that she often leaves a framed photo of their pet when it's been a longer sit, and sometimes she will ping a picture of the pet that the owner hasn't seen yet by email on holidays or Christmas time or something like that. So I think that's really nice, and they always love it.
They do. Yep, definitely.
Now, our friend Nicky over at Above Us Only Skies, she is a whole other level. She says if there's fruit and veggies on the property, actually she says veg because she's British. If there's fruit and veg on the property, make something with it for them. We had a house sit where the owners had an amazing mango tree, but as they left the home every year, they didn't get to enjoy it. She made mango chutney, mango ice cream, and mango jam for them, and they loved it. Of course they loved it. Isn't that the best thing ever? I just am thinking that's so fabulous.
Sounds delicious. I would love to be welcomed home with that.
Yes, I want to have Nicky cook. We don't have any fruit or veg trees, but I still want Nicky to cook for me. Or pets. One of our YouTube watchers, the Senior Thrifter, had a great comment. She says that a lot of her clients return very late at night, so she leaves breakfast for them, either muffins or croissants. And at the holidays, she said sometimes she puts a box of chocolates in the cupboard with a little thank you, so it's a little surprise. She said that people love it. Liz Parker shares another good story, and that is for homeowners who were getting home really, really late. She left a box of chocolates with a note on their pillow. So she knew they were going to come right home and go right to bed, and they were really appreciative. Of course you would be, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like turn-down service.
It's like turn-down service to a clean bed. Sometimes it's not so easy to find thank you cards, and I have a gazillion of them at home. I try to remember to bring them with me so that we can jot a quick little note, and our friend Jodie over at the House Sitting Academy writes that they often do that thank you note as if it was written from the pets.
I think that's a great idea. Something else I think that you just, with Liz's message that you said earlier about leaving chocolates on the bed, I think taking hints from the hospitality or the luxury hospitality industry, those are amazing ideas. So what they do in that world where they turn down your bed, they leave chocolates on your bed, they leave you a gift. These are the sort of things that I think that set you apart as a pet sitter when you're in someone's home. You want homeowners to come back and think that, wow, I want these people back here next week to take care of my home and my pets.
Maybe not next week, but again.
Again, that's right.
Whenever we're house sitting, it is very normal that we cook a lot in the home. When we're going to be at a house for like a month or so, we buy all of our olive oil and mustard and condiments and salt and all kinds of stuff because we know we're going to go through a lot of this. But I'm going to give an example of a house that we did in Santa Barbara, California. We were there for maybe 10 days and we went to the farmer's market every single day. It was the summertime. We ate big salads every single meal, like several times every day. And I made a vinaigrette every day. So we were going through their olive oil. Well, I didn't know if the olive oil that they had was something they would want replaced. So instead of buying the same bottle of olive oil, we gave them a really generous gift card to their local grocery store where the olive oil came from so that they could get whatever they wanted. Also, maybe they don't go through olive oil that quickly and it would get rancid. So buying a new bottle didn't make sense. It kind of is like what makes sense. For that one, it was just give them a gift card. And I think we also made a quiche and thank you note and flowers and things like that.
And like Amy said, we will always ask the homeowners whether it's okay to use their ingredients. And we also always go above and beyond and ask, are there things that you have treasured that you don't want us to use? I bought this spice in India and it's the only place I can get it. This is off limits. It's certainly important to qualify what you're able to eat and what you're not able to eat.
In some of our past sits, the homeowners have left a whole bunch of groceries. It's just kind of like their family groceries. It wasn't like a gift basket for us, but it was just like, hey, we have a lot of groceries. Here you go. Now you eat all these groceries. We will go above and beyond and make sure that we are kind of going to fill that fridge up as well, just like we found it. We've sat for a few owners and heard some funny stories. The last one we had, the owner said like, holy cow, we got home and everything was used. All of our olive oil was used.
They used all the salt. So.
All of it. And they said that they used all of many, many things, didn't replace it. We think that's kind of weird. That is definitely a best practice, is not to do that. We also make sure that we buy toilet paper and paper towels.
We do. Something we've also had offered up on many occasions is eat anything you want. So including, we have 100 pounds, we have a side of beef in the freezer.
Hundreds of pounds of beef.
Anything you want in the freezer. We take advantage of that to a very limited degree. Even though they've offered eat our entire side of beef, we would only use that in very limited...
like 1 pound of beef.
That's right, a pound of beef.
We don't want to take advantage of the homeowner's generosity too much, and we find that that's been really a good strategy.
Yep.
Our friend Jodie over at the House Sitting Academy mentions the law of reciprocity. She says it's like the game of who thanks who is more indebted to who. When the homeowners come home and see that we've done a nice job, they're so grateful, and often they want to do something for us as well. Jodie recommends ask for a nice reference. She says they have over 60 references. They still want a great reference. That's a great suggestion because references are probably the most important thing that we've got when it comes to our profile.
No doubt about it.
When the homeowner has come home and we have gone above and beyond and delivered so much further than their expectations, that's the time to ask for a review. However, it's also when they're probably the busiest they're ever going to be. They are coming back from a trip. Maybe it's been a long trip. Maybe they're getting back to work. Maybe they have kids who they're getting back into their lives. Things are crazy. So we do get that. What I'll do is I will ping maybe in the day or two after we're done. Hey, would you mind giving us a review? It's so important. They always say, of course they will, but life gets so busy. After about a week or so, I'm going to ping again and ask for that. And so far, we've been quite fortunate to have some really good references with just that second reminder.
It's equally important that you review the homeowner if the platform allows for that. Many of the platforms don't allow you to actually do any reviewing of the homeowner. However, this is something that we rely upon when the platform has this information. We're trying to use this information to determine whether or not we might want to do a sit. So reviews are equally important for the homeowner. So we get those done. Amy gets those done in short order as soon as we've got a sit wrapped up. Probably within the week she's doing this review of the homeowner.
We think one of the reasons we've had such great house sits in some part is because of this feedback that the sitters have left. We have dodged possibly some bullets because of sitters like you reviewing homes.
Thank you so much for watching our Best Practices series. We've used most of these tips. We actually found some new things through this series. We're excited to try these out in some of our future sits. But using the things that we've used and the tips that we've shared with you, we have found incredible sits along the way and hope that you're able to take these and find your own amazing sits.
These tips work. We hope that you use them, and we found that we've been invited back on just about every sit we've ever done for a repeat. So I think they're effective.
Must be doing something right.
We must be doing something right. If you liked the video today, we hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please do it in that little corner box over there. We would appreciate it so much because we're done with house sitting for a very short time. We've filled up house sitting, and we're going to get to other videos that we've had on the back burner, like travel hacking and stuff like that. If you have any comments, what did we miss? What did you learn? What other house sitting questions do you have? We would love to hear about that down below in the comments. And you can see everyone's channels in the description. So everyone that we mentioned today, I'm going to be including all that in the video description with their websites or their Facebook pages. So I hope that you will check them out because they are all total dynamos. We can promise you that. And lastly, if you know anybody who's interested in house sitting, please share it on your social media with them. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you soon.